Sometimes, the battlefield doesn't warn you before it changes forever. During August 2025, something happened on the front lines of Kupyansk and Krasnolimansk that sent shockwaves through several military positions. It wasn't just another artillery exchange or routine air raid. It was a sequence of attacks that combined raw firepower with unnerving precision. Defenses once thought secure crumbled, critical systems went dark, and the ground itself seemed to turn against those holding it. Layered, relentless, precise. High-yield Fab 3000 bombs, precision artillery, and unmanned drones didn't just appear on the battlefield. They operated as one ruthless machine. Every strike had a purpose. Every target had a place in the sequence. And every move pushed Ukrainian defenses closer to collapse. So, what really happened in those few days? Let's break it down together. The opening strike was raw, undoubted power. The Fab 3000, an aerial munition built to annihilate deep-buried fortifications, was unleashed over Kupyansk. On August 7th, the evidence was impossible to ignore. Aerial footage showed a protected bunker, once thought impervious, erased in a single detonation. This was more than an explosion. It was the collapse of a high-strength facility. But what happens when the first blow is only the beginning? Immediately after, Krasnopol high-precision artillery shells locked onto another bunker, destroying every single thing inside of it. Moments later, a two-story fortified building, once a vantage point for Ukrainian fire, was flattened. The strikes weren't just knocking down walls, they were stripping away layers of defense. Then came the Molniya strike drones, combing the ruins with surgical intent. Their orders were clear: leave nothing capable of regrouping. And if August 7th was about breaking walls, August 8th was about breaking the air vision. The 80 ORB Sparta unit hunted camouflaged UAV launch and control hubs, hidden inside robust bunkers and trench networks. These weren't just casual storage spaces. They were the critical parts of Ukraine's military positions. By taking them out, Russian forces weren't just destroying assets. They were removing battlefield eyes. Could Ukraine adapt fast enough to restore its vision? By August 11th, the 144th Division ensured the answer leaned toward no. More UAV control points fell. More bunkers were reduced to rubble in Krasnolimansk. The strikes weren't a single devastating blow followed by silence. They were a drumbeat, keeping Ukrainian forces under constant strain. By the week's end, the tally was stark. Bunkers gone, strongholds gone, UAV hubs gone, and operators eliminated. This wasn't just destruction, it was strategic erasure. Beneath the relentless strikes, the question hangs heavy over the battlefield. If the damage above ground was so visible, what happened beneath the surface? How deep did the August strikes cut into Ukraine's ability to fight, to see, and to hold? Check this out. While official casualty figures remain unreported, the nature and precision of the strikes make their consequences hard to overstate. What happens to a defensive line when its safest bunkers are reduced to dust? Deep-buried shelters aren't simply protective spaces. They are the backbone of endurance. Losing them forces soldiers into less protected positions, widening cracks for future assaults. And what about when the UAV hubs go dark? Destroying them isn't just taking away launch pads. It's severing the intelligence lifeline. With fewer drones in the sky and fewer live feeds to guide artillery, Ukrainian responses slowed. In this war, even a 5-minute delay can turn a stand into a retreat. Could Ukraine replace what it lost during the military operation? The answer is grim. The positions struck weren't manned by raw recruits. They were held by operators, UAV crews, and specialists. Skills like theirs take months or years to replace. In an active war, that clock doesn't stop ticking. And then there's another factor, the mental dimension of the fight. The precision of a Fab 3000 strike that can erase a reinforced bunker in a single detonation sends a clear message about the reach and capability of Russian strike systems. When a concealed control point can be pinpointed and destroyed despite camouflage and protective engineering, it showcases not only technological advantage, but also the coordination required to identify and eliminate such assets. These actions prove that even the most secure positions can be neutralized with speed and accuracy, reinforcing the credibility of Russia's integrated strike approach. Last, the geography of it all. Kupyansk and Krasnolimansk aren't just tactical strategy. They are gateways. Weakening defenses here risks opening corridors for deeper advances. Even without immediate breakthroughs, the strain on Ukrainian lines in these sectors now tilts the balance in Russia's position. The modern war is no longer about one grand battle. It's about persistence. Breaking down the opposite side day after day, stripping away the tools they need to see, fight, and believe they can win. The Fab 3000 was Russia's hammer. The Krasnopol shells were the chisels, and the drones were the scalpel. Together, they proved that no bunker is too deep, no stronghold too reinforced, and no command post too hidden. The August 2025 strikes will be remembered not just for the wreckage they left behind, but for the doctrine they demonstrated, coordinated, multi-domain pressure that leaves the opponent weaker every day, until there's nothing left to defend. In this kind of war, survival isn't about holding the line. It's about finding a line that can't be found. So was August 2025 a turning point? Or was it a calculated prelude? An opening act for something bigger still to come? With all of Russia's bold moves, could Ukraine adapt fast enough to restore its vision? Drop your thoughts below. Until then, thank you for watching.